get to meet and associate with more people. I think everybody's here and it's time for me to start. Yes, are we all ready? Welcome everybody for day 2 of Tai Chi for Arthritis and Falls Prevention. A special welcome to Gabriel who make it, and we'll take care of him and give him all the information he needs. So I'm going to start just talk about what we did yesterday. I would love to hear from you how you feel about yesterday. What's your favorite part? What's the part that you enjoy most about yesterday? Unmute yourself if you want to talk.
Yeah, I learned a lot yesterday, Paul, particularly from other participants' questions that were questions that I hadn't thought of, but I enjoyed the answers.
That's nice, great, fantastic. So just tell everybody, make sure you ask a lot of questions. Anybody else like to share what you enjoy most?
I really liked the feedback. Sometimes I feel like I'm operating in a vacuum. So I really liked being able to get the visual and just answers to questions and people's comments about things. I really liked that a lot.
Great, thanks, Andrea. That's the difference of live interaction, whether it's Zoom or face-to-face. You can still kind of feel a bit of each other's energy too. Certainly, it's much easier to do it in your lunch room than getting ready. For me, 20 hours to fly, maybe not 20 hours. Yeah, by the time I reach the part of USA, it's about 20 hours. It's a long trip. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let me just go through what we did and feel free to share how you feel. We start with introducing each other, which I think it's really important to sort of know a bit about yourself and know a bit about us. And you probably like to know we are a huge community, different countries, many people. Over the last 21 years, we have trained over 50,000 instructors, and that reach estimate well over 10 million people around the world. And you know, we all share one thing, our love for people and Tai Chi and health. And I do meet people in the oddest place when I go to the custom, and it's really good when the custom office actually recognize me. And when I go in the hotel, it's really nice when the manager told me, hey, Dr. Lam, when I get really stressed, I go to YouTube and I did your first lesson. So it's kind of nice. When I was in USA, there's a group of USA people told me they went to a tour in Vietnam. So for those who missed, I was born in Vietnam, but I visited once, but then I don't remember trying anybody in Vietnam. But the USA people went to the park in Vietnam and met a group of people doing Tai Chi for arthritis. And straight away, they feel like that brotherhood. So it's really nice. And but it's also nice to have personal relationship. For example, when I work with you, I think we will remember each other for a long time, and the positive energy we will share, it really helped me to feel good about working with people and making a difference, and to know that you guys are going out there and shared it with many other people. And it was just such a nice feeling to share something good to impact people's life positively. And so after we met each other, Then we did the first core 6 movement together. And then Kataki, Sylvia, myself give you some feedback which Andrea likes. And because it's always nice to have interaction. And after that, we have discussion group on what is arthritis, what do you have to know about arthritis to teach this program. And I think the key point that I try to make, and of course you have really everything in stage 1, but when we did work together and you go back to stage 1, you can have that program for half a year. You will find there's more things and more meaning. So, you know, there are people who think they have to know so much about arthritis. We don't really have to. When they teach the program, you are a Tai Chi teacher, you're not a doctor or health professional. And then it's important to know how to care for people with arthritis, to know that they usually have those challenges like pain, limitation, movements. They might get stressed from their condition. And really, you're just using your normal care and the program is building to make it safe for them. We talk about how to teach it safely. And then we also talk about how to teach the program effectively. So my impression is when I get to know everybody, I'm really impressed with the amount of preparation you put in. And I'm also really happy to see many of you doing it because you want to teach and share. And I'm also very happy to meet quite a few health professional colleagues. You don't have to be that to teach Tai Chi for health programs, but it's kind of an advantage because then you already have some idea how to care for people. Then we did the extension 6, and then again we have some feedback. That's essentially what we did yesterday. Were there anybody like to comment or have any question on what we did yesterday?
I think Ilona and Manjeet wanted to say something before, so I would like to invite them to speak up.
Go on. Did you say, Manjeet? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to say that yesterday we had a session of 4 hours, so I could not keep track of time actually. So 4 hours went just like very much engaged. So nothing very specific, but yes, the training was so engaging that that 4 hours looked like to me like 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Thank you. That's a very nice feedback. Yes, that's great. And that often happens to teaching Tai Chi. For me, sometimes my people have to remind me it's time. Oh, so that's nice. Thank you. One of the concern which happened to many of the workshop around is the teaching effectively. And I thought I'm going to talk a little bit about that. The teaching method was really taking a lot of time to evolve and to develop. And we look at research on how people learn best and different types of learners, you know, the different people learn best different ways. And then we take Tai Chi principles and look at the studies on our programs and how we work. And also, just about every workshop, we have a feedback form for people to fill in. And interestingly, every workshop, the #1 favorite session is the teaching the role playing of the teaching effectively, teaching the stepwise progressive teaching method. So I want to talk just a little bit about that. Because most of you and most of participants have some experience in teaching, even if you have any kids or any younger siblings. In a way, you teach them. So we are used to our teaching method, especially if you are in the teaching profession. But teaching Tai Chi has a little different. The thing is, Tai Chi has so many things. It can be so simple, but it can be so deep and so many things that you can take it really slow, one step at a time. And even the brightest people, the people who can learn a whole set of 73 forms in one day, who compete in the international competition, I still teach them the same stepwise progressive teaching method. They get more out of it. And that also appeals to different levels of learner. So there's a theory behind it. And I just briefly go through the method. And of course, it will be on your stage one. Let me, yes, yesterday, I did ask you to go to the section where I demonstrate the teaching method with single whip. That will be after knowledge base part 4. And then there was me talking about how to teach Tai Chi effectively. And then I did a demonstration with my partner. She's really is an experienced Tai Chi teacher, but she pretended to be a participant. And I show you how to do those steps. It's really worth your while to imitate me, just to start with. Trying to do all the steps the similar way as I do. And then trying to understand why every step is there. And then later on, as you become comfortable, then of course, use your flavor and change it. But it's good to get the structure right. And let me explain. This is not to do with teaching. This is just my practice of my Chinese choreography. So the first thing I do is, of course, you say hello to your participants and smile to your participants. Make people feel you really enjoy doing this. And then the first thing I do is I show people the whole movement.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Give me co-host rights, please, so that I can spotlight your video for everyone.
Sorry?
Make me a co-host, please.
Oh, yeah.
That I can
Thank
spotlight
you.
for
Thank you.
everyone.
You know what? I'm going to make you the host. And then if you can make me a co-host and make a few other guys co-hosts. So the first thing we were talking about is what do we have to know as an instructor, the 3 most important things we need to know about arthritis. And while we all talk about that, and I quite agree with most what you say, I want to just summarize that we are not health professionals. The main thing we need to know about arthritis is that there are many kinds of arthritis. And that sort of diagnosis, treatment, whatever belongs to the health professionals. What we need to know is how to take care of them. And to take care of them, we need to know people with arthritis often have pain. They have common things. They have pain, they get tired, and they can also get quite depressed. So we want to tailor our teaching to something that's safe, not to make their pain worse. And I think just being mindful of this is the challenge they have, and we want to take care of that. So we need to know there are many different types of arthritis. I think it's around 170 different types of arthritis, but we really didn't need to know all that. We just know they're different and different types. Like Christine was saying that there was 3 types. One is rheumatoid, one is osteo, one is outside the body, the fibromyalgia. So in other words, it can be in the joint, can be very bad, and it can be very mild, and they would all benefit from what Tai Chi for arthritis is if we can teach it safely and carefully. So that's, I think, all we need to know about arthritis. And the next point is, how does Tai Chi for arthritis work? Because you really want to know how something works, so that people like your participant, if they know how it works, it gives them more motivation to do it. And Purnima has covered that essentially. The key things to know how it works is, first of all, it's a good exercise. It exercises all the body. And people with arthritis do need the right, gentle exercise. And the second way, how does it work? She also mentioned is about reducing stress. People with arthritis do have stress. And Trevor mentioned that there's over 500 medical studies showing Tai Chi works for many conditions, especially Tai Chi for arthritis. My program, there are more than 30 medical studies showing it works on many different things. So essentially, those are the 3 main things. And it's all, when you go back to the stage 1, is there. I don't think we need to know too many, but it's very useful if you do know the 2 studies, that the study by North Carolina, University of North Carolina, how effective it is within 8 weeks. So if we go back to the stage 1, we'll see that it might not need to be so specific, but it's nice to know that the world's largest study, Tai Chi for arthritis, shows how effective it is. And stop me anytime. And the last question is, how does it work? The last question is safely. This is really ahead of my training, the important things of teaching Tai Chi for arthritis safely. But since you already talked about it, and I thought you were quite knowledgeable about it, so I'll just summarize what you do. And I'm sure you already look at that and see different ways. I think the most important thing, the first, is you all mentioned work within comfort zone. And the second one is that one, I didn't hear anybody mention that. Follow the program with its adaptations. Remember, Tai Chi for arthritis is led by me, but 2 rheumatologists, 1 physical therapist specializing in rheumatology, and a group of Tai Chi people, and I'm a family physician. And so we really build into it safety factors already, including the warm-up exercise. When I was doing the warm-up, I talk about within your comfort zone and keeping yourself safe. So I think it's important to be mindful of following the program. They are, I don't know if I mentioned this, but years ago, New Zealand government, you all know what an amazing visionary country it is, New Zealand. It's also very beautiful. New Zealand is the first government who actually have a national department called ACC, Accident Compensation, and any accident within the country is cared by the government. So if you are a cleaner and you hurt yourself, the government actually pay for your treatment and send somebody else to do the cleaning for you. And by doing that, you think that's like too good to be true, but you know, it's true. They ACC found out by doing that, nobody have to buy workers' compensation insurance and all this other insurance, and actually it save money, save companies, the whole government, a lot of money by prevention. A car accident, or if you have an accident by a doctor, the doctor operate on the wrong organ, and people sue the doctors, and that's very prevalent in the USA. Your doctor, as far as I remember now, some doctor pay $100,000 a year for insurance. So there's so many people sue them. I think it's the OBGYN, the gynecologists. But the money comes from patients. That's why it costs so much to see a doctor in the USA. Before I retired, I was paying $10,000 a year for insurance. Those money come from patients. When with New Zealand, the doctors can practice real medicine. They don't have to think of cover their backside. They don't have to do unnecessary tests, because they will be judged by their peers. And if the other doctor practice that properly, the doctor, you cannot sue the doctor for money, but the government will take care of you if you get hurt for any reason, car accident, by the doctors. So ACC is incredibly visionary. And ACC actually pay for older adults to do Tai Chi. And their studies show the money they invest on doing for Tai Chi classes save the whole country 10 times more money just on fall prevention alone. But Tai Chi is not just for falls prevention, it helps people with arthritis, with so many other things. So actually by the government paying Tai Chi class, it can save enormous amount of money. And of course the insurance company is not happy about that. They're not making that much money. The lawyer's not happy, but the people get better treatment and pay less. So ACC found out they saying 80% of the New Zealand people were learning Tai Chi for arthritis. And they have employed one of our master trainers as a national safety inspector who go around to all the classes to see how they run the classes. And they found people teach Tai Chi for arthritis, and they add warm-up exercise, like this is for older adults, and they will add warm-up exercise like that, which you still see people do in Tai Chi class. That's the highest risk movement for back injury by stretching down. So in our program, we design everything with safety in mind. So we would advise you not to add new things to it. Yeah, because then you can do whatever you like, but don't say to people and don't write down that you're teaching our Tai Chi for Health programs. If you want to say you're teaching our Tai Chi for Health program, then you should stick to the program and not add anything high risk to it, including the adaptation. So that's, I think you kind of mentioned it, but maybe not as clear. Yeah.
I think what I meant was like with the warm up with the hip stopping halfway through, like you suggested, or doing it seated, or the adaptations that you suggested. If people couldn't do the kicks, or the way that you've suggested to adapt rather than modify was what I meant. I think if it came out wrong.
No, it came out great. Well,
yeah.
The physical therapists are the highest percentage of my participants, and I think we follow pretty much similar principles. One of the composer is a physical therapist. We call them physiotherapists in Australia, but exactly the same training. Yeah. So what was Sharon? What was your most important point?
Working within the comfort zone was the most important.
Okay, that was the comfort zone, and
falls prevention, so adapting if we needed to for balance and seated. Yeah.
okay. Were they, Andrea, in your group, did you have another point at the points about teaching safely?
Well, stay within their comfort zone. Tell them to listen to their body. Basically, to remind them to listen to their body and do things, but also as instructors, we need to be aware of what's going on in the room and modify as needed. Specifically, like you said, if you're seeing people who really shouldn't be sitting down, maybe just encourage, let's all sit down and do this, or let's break out the groups and you people do seated, you people do this, or so yeah, basically the same as what she's saying. So modify as needed for safety, and always encourage them to listen to their bodies.
Okay, thank you. And yes, occupational therapists are just ideal to run this program because those are the knowledge you already have. So listen to your body. Okay. So if you follow the lesson plan, we do change it a little bit, especially when you guys are so well prepared, we're ahead of the time. So this is, we're going to have a 10 minutes break, and then we're going to come back to do the exercise to do more Tai Chi for Arthritis. So feel free to have a cup of tea and have 10 minutes break. We come back Australian time, 4:10, 10 minutes from now.
I don't think I have the lesson plan, Dr. Lam, so
That's okay.
I'm happy with whatever's happening.
Yeah, well, I change it anyway as we go.
That's all right
yeah. What the key was that I usually mix the exercise with the talk, and then always have a break. No more than an hour, we'll always have a break. So that would be my key principle. And then I try to cover everything and listen to everybody.
Having fun anyway, so that's fine. So yeah, I don't have a plan. I'm just
Okay.
I'll see
well,
you having a break.
I will send you the lesson plan, and I'll revise it as well. So talk to you again.
And I apologize.
Sorry.
I want to apologize to my teammates for not answering the question of how does Tai Chi for arthritis work. because it's way past my bedtime.
Oh.
I just forgot. Sorry.
You're doing great, Andrea, and I'm really happy that you come in this time. That's okay. I just so impressed with how everybody is so well prepared. Yeah, so that's
I'm learning a lot from everyone.
fantastic. Okay, you have a little rest, but don't go to sleep. This button. That feeling of softening your shoulder, if you extend it to other part of the body, that's how you soften your upper limb. And the feeling to soften your spine is, imagine from your chin, there's an invisible line to the middle of your head. And as you push your chin back, push it gently upwards, lifting skull up. Your body's still upright. And you're looking eye level. And then from this side, here's your sacrum. Underneath the sacrum, there's a little point called coccyx, a little bit here. And you don't have to know that. All you have to do is try to contract your pelvic floor muscles. When you contract your pelvic muscle gently, you kind of tilt your sacrum forward a little bit. Not like this, but when it contract, that make your back more straight instead of like this. If you contract, your back become. So by doing that, is gently stretch your spine. And the song of the lower limb is a little difficult because your weights are all there. So to song your lower limb, we imagine your crutch is like a bridge, you know? If you look at all the ancient bridge, there's got that arch. That's the strongest that make a bridge last. So think of this like a crutch, like an arch, your crutch like an arch, which means another way to facilitate that is putting a little bit more weight on the outer edge of your feet. Instead of this way, you put a little bit more weight outer. And when you put weights outer edge of your feet, and your knee should be just over your toe. But if you do this, see your weight's now in the inner edge. If you do this, it's the outer edge. And that songs your hip joint. So if you like to join me, we'll do this song posture together. So think of your fingers, song your fingers, song your wrist. Anytime you feel uncomfortable, feel comfortable staying up anytime, don't bang too much, just bang within your comfort zone. Wrist, elbow, and feel the dimples here. And then chin, contract your pelvic floor muscle, arch your crutch. And then if you do your whole Tai Chi like this, you'll be really stable and your joints really relaxed, song. So let's do the extension 6, thinking of song. Don't worry about left and right. And you remember the movement. I'm going to face you this time. Okay, ready? Open, close. Thinking of softening your joints. Keeping your body upright. and then we come back and do the other side. Of course, it's in your stage 1. The next is Jing. Jing is being mindful, being focused, being quiet from within. That's not always easy. So there are times, I remember the times I really upset about something, and it's sometimes take a while to get over it. And if I can get myself to do some downtown breathing and do my quiet Tai Chi, gradually it just helps me to quiet down. By the time I do a set of Tai Chi, it makes a difference to my mind. And also, at times when you're really stressed, you can always do a downtown breathing, keep your body upright, and just visualize the Tai Chi, and it'll be easier to calm your mind down. And being mindful, being quiet in the mind. Also, when you song, just when you did the extension 6, when you are loosening your joints, keeping your body upright, did you find that you are more quiet in your mind? You weren't thinking about anything else? You weren't thinking it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning? You'll be thinking of your mind is quiet. And Jing, when your mind is quiet, it also helps you to song. The two come together. More Jing help you to song. The more song allow you to be more Jing. And that helps you. All these principles are integrated. The slow smoothness allow you to be quiet in your mind. And the right posture, they're all integrated. But when you practice Tai Chi, it's good to just think of one aspect at a time, especially when you teach. I would recommend you don't teach all this to your beginner participants in one go. Maybe you teach people to just move slowly and get used to the feeling of moving slowly. That can be fun, but at first, if people are used to rushing, they might find that uncomfortable. You can get people to practice a bit more slow, gradually, because it's part of nature. Slowing fast is part of nature. Then that helps them to get into Tai Chi. And I would say, if you give people one thing, slow for a couple of weeks, and then smooth for a couple of weeks, and gradually introduce the concept to your participants. And that's how people really get to understand Tai Chi. And when you incorporate all those principles, it's really, you'll feel the power and the enjoyment of Tai Chi. And just so that you be very mindful that nobody can be perfect and nobody can think of all these principles and execute those principles all the time. That's not possible. If that's your goal, you set yourself for a failure. That is actually the goal for many traditional teachers. They tell you you can do that, but you can't. Nobody can. It's not human nature. We're yin and yang. We need balance. So every now and then is all you need to do to be really good at Tai Chi. And to change, slowly modify. You are always yourself. But when you're able to do the song and the jing and the slowness, it actually makes you more effective. And make you make better decisions. And the time I spend practicing my Tai Chi make me more energized, less sickness, and make better decisions. I actually become more efficient with when I actually go to work or doing other things. So Tai Chi improves our body and mind, and that time is spent on Tai Chi is more than compensate by the health and the better decision we make and better things. So take a while to get that, but it's a good concept to have in mind. So what I like we all to do is let's do the whole set and don't even focus on anything. Whichever aspect come to your mind, just let it stay and let it go. Just do the movement and enjoy it. Everybody, let's do for arthritis. It's fun doing Tai Chi together. Great. Any questions? Any comments? Anyone like to?
Paul, I have a question that I thought of yesterday and didn't have time to ask, and that is there anything special that should be done for people, certainly in my age group, who have had knee or hip replacements?
Yes. Well, essentially, of course, we always say talk to your health professional, but essentially the guide we have work well within your comfort zone and slowly, don't go too low, slowly work yourself through it. And in the old days, we used to talk about if you have a hip replacement, do not cross center line. But the surgeon told me they have improved so much in their technique that it's not a problem anymore. Essentially, the comment I got from most of the surgeons and physios is that our patients, people who done Tai Chi before and after, recover so much quicker, get better range of movements, and of course, you always direct by the health professional, but generally speaking, that's not really much difference. Just within your comfort zone, take your time, work yourself well out.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Look, that's what we decided for. We build it into safety for different conditions. Ilona?
May I add to this that my husband has got both new knees, and he was encouraged because he said, my wife is doing Tai Chi, and shall I do it as well? And I said, yes, the best you can do.
Beautiful, thank you. You know, that made me very, very happy. When I teach Tai Chi, well, around 40 years ago when I started teaching, we never have such support from health professionals. But now, I mean, all this over 1,000 studies being published showing how good Tai Chi is, especially our Tai Chi, which has a safety built into it and created by health professionals. And we're really getting great support from our colleagues. That's really good. You can't hide something good. But thanks for sharing that. Okay, well, we will have a quick 5 minutes break. And then I think we've done so well, we probably can finish relatively quickly when we come back. So if we can still keep our weight, my USA friends, drink some water and walk around a little bit. And we'll be back 5 minutes and then we'll conclude our workshop. It's been really good. Well, Kataki, it's great to have you controlling and getting help from the Zoom.
I don't know if I did a good job or not. Actually, honestly speaking, I did that breakout room first time yesterday. I had no idea. You just mentioned may create the room. I just made few guesses. It worked out.
That's good. I'm glad you do. And how do you feel we're going?
I think we did a lot. A lot has been covered, and yeah, I think it was good.
Yeah, we really do have a good group of people who look very enthusiastic, and everyone's well prepared. That's really good to see.
Yes.
So eventually, when you come for the master trainer training, we train it as though you're running a workshop, and then we sort of talk to you about what to look out for and what is the reason for certain things and how to deal with different things. And I think you two would do really well, especially when you can.
We have done one master trainer workshop already with you.
Yeah, you
Master
did.
trainer training workshop 2017.
Yeah, you did. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah. So it will be different.
And that year we were the only people who got certified as instructor in the master trainer workshop.
Yeah, well, I'm so happy that you're such an amazing exception, and you're going to, it's good too when the two work together, when you have a group that work well together, the outcome is greater than 1 + 2 is more than double the benefit. It's amazing how, we work together, the outcome is greater than the sum of everybody.
Thank you.
Well, while we're waiting, can I ask another question? Something that I think in Tai Chi, I haven't mentioned much in this workshop, is how muscle memory plays a part in learning the moves. Could you comment on that?
Oh, yes, well, I thought you already did. That's, yes, sure. Yes, our muscles do have memories, and so the practice really helped. And then I think a pitfall is when it depends on your muscle to remember, and you just move according, because your muscle has memory, so you just move. And if you move mindlessly, it's still good exercise. You exercise your whole body, but it's not as effective as you being mindful of the principles, being mindful of where you are, and you get more out of it because that's what is internal. And that's where the principles are. They allow us, they help us to develop muscle memory, but also not to be dependent on it, but raise above that.
Thank you. Yeah, I understand. Thanks.
Sure?
Well, can I ask a quick question? You've had like 40 years of teaching Tai Chi, and to be good at Tai Chi and to teach Tai Chi well, do you just have to do more Tai Chi? Or out of curiosity, do you cross-train and do other forms of exercise too to complement Tai Chi? I don't know, cardiovascular or something like that?
Okay, well, that's a really good question. First of all, interestingly, I have one guy who coaches windsurfer, and he coached national champions. So he doesn't know how to windsurf. But that's not true in Tai Chi. You need to know the movements, and it really helps for you to feel the movements, understand the principle. Then you'll be a better teacher. But then definitely you can train someone better than you. So in other words, your Tai Chi skill plays a part. In terms of teaching Tai Chi, you need to reach certain skill to be a good teacher. But also teaching skill is another set of skill that I have some people who Tai Chi is good but not exceptional, but they're exceptional teachers. They get really good participants. Part of that is also your ability to work with people, understand people, and communicate. So teaching is a different art, and when you combine them two together, you get really good results. So it really doesn't matter whether you do other sports, other things or not. I love skiing. I haven't skied for too long time. And I find I use a lot of Tai Chi principles when I ski. And as my Tai Chi gets better, my ski gets better too. But that is a minor part of my activities. Also, I use Tai Chi to help me practice my medicine. So, yeah, certainly there are certain things that are helpful. I think the more you enjoy teaching, I think the more you enjoy your Tai Chi, you become a better teacher, because when you enjoy something, you're more enthusiastic to teach. So I do find it is helpful for my instructors to keep practicing. And I certainly do that myself. I'm really lucky. I got arthritis since I was 13. And if I don't practice, my arthritis gets worse. So I have a wonderful motivation, keep practicing. I have a reminder. But you don't need a reminder. It's just, Tai Chi is just intrinsically enjoyable, especially follow the principles. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Sure.
I want to add here one thing. That, when we talk about principle and you don't take those principles into other daily activities, not just any specific sport, the principles become more and more meaningful, like keeping shoulders down when driving a car, or standing on 2 feet, working on in kitchen, or it can be anything. Just brushing your teeth with a relaxed shoulder is a good practice of understanding the principle. So, and that once you start doing that, you enjoy it so much, you enjoy your Tai Chi more, and as a result, you end up enjoying teaching more. So it's a cycling process, I think. Just what I think.
Thank you. No, I totally agree. And the reason why principles are so useful and so effective is because it's part of nature. Tai Chi is created based on a lot of the Taoist philosophy. Okay, later on, a lot of Taoist people branch off sort of the wrong direction for me. The original Taoists, they are naturalists, they are philosophers, they're no religious, no spirit, just care about the mind, the body, how nature interact with us. And those are the bit that the Tai Chi follows. The principle of yin and yang, softness and hardness complements. And when you're in balance, then your life is in better balance. And when we are in balance, when human race, when the community are in balance with each other, we have a better world, we have a more peaceful world. All this is just nature, and the observation of nature, the following of nature, it certainly enriched my life to use those principles. And yes, it can apply many places, everywhere really, to the life. We really pretty much do everything. Let me tell you something about the Tai Chi for Health Institute. It is founded 2010. A few people come to me and they say to me, what if I drop dead? Would the Tai Chi for Health program kind of disappear? And I thought that was a very good point. And I think I love to see it continue with or without me. And so the people who talked to me, one of them was a CEO of Age Concern, a large non-profit organization who look after people over 50s. I think Age Concern is very, very strong in UK. Yes, and so she really helped to set it up. We took a year to work out a constitution, and we set up a non-profit institute. The job is basically to bring the Tai Chi for Health to help empower as many people as possible. So that's the only purpose. And it's run by a board which is democratically elected by all levels of instructors, plus participants like some relative who want to join the board to help direct the direction. So we have around 10 members of the board, and we meet once a month, and we make a decision on how to best serve our purpose. We help to support research as much as we can. Basically, we support our instructors at all different levels, and we set an ethical code, and we set policies so that we can teach Tai Chi safely, effectively, maintain a high standard. And that's 12 years now. The board has been quite comfortable running the program. So if I drop that tomorrow, I'm sure the program would continue to foster and help many people. But I don't intend to do that. I mean, I intend to stay many years and continue to be part of this wonderful movement. So once you done the workshop, and if you met all the requirements, I would send your name to the institute, and the institute will send you an email very quickly. Emails are very quick, and invite you to join the institute as a board certified instructor. And for that, you have to pay a fee, an annual fee. At the moment, it's about $19 US. It's 25. I think it's 25 Australian dollars, somewhere around there. It's really very, very small fee, and the institute will offer you support as much as we can. We do have staff, 2-3 part-time staff who run the institute, so they offer support in different ways. What else can I tell you about the institute? Well, the institute spends a lot of resources maintaining the website, because it's really important to have a website for people to know us, especially if you get a grant to run a Tai Chi class or Tai Chi workshop. They will want to know you have properly trained, and then the grant giver will look at our website to make sure your name's there. And if you do some work with organizations, the way for them to authenticize you is through the institute. And you also know that the institute here to support everybody. And once you done the workshop, you met all the requirements, you will get a certificate from me. It's going to be a digital certificate. It's a very nice looking digital certificate that you can print it out and you can share it around, that you've done the workshop and you fulfill the requirements. And then when you pay that fee to become a member of the certificate, member of the institute, you will have your name on the website. All those just to show people we have a standard, we support our people, we have an ethical code that you have to follow. I'm sure you have a look at that. It's essentially just teaching ethically. And that's the institute. The board is democratically elected, and then the members elect a chair. So the chairperson and the director, I'm the director that also democratically elected, and the chair for the board is elected by all the members of the board. At the moment, our chair is Professor Liu, who's the Deputy Dean of Medicine in Singapore University. He's a really big picture person. He thinks it's a wonderful chair, and he's really friendly. He loves helping people. So I really like our chair, and I'm the director, which is voted by everybody too. Right, so if you want to know more, it's on the website.
And our yearly, get together in Sydney and USA, one of the big events of the institute. So yeah, so those are you get to meet so many people from the world, from the whole of the world. It's a very nice experience.
Yes, definitely, and I hope to meet you in some stage in an in-person workshop. I used to travel around the world half of my year. So since the pandemic, I have stopped traveling until week after next. I'm going to start my world teaching tour again. I'm going to spend some time in USA. The workshop will be released on the website, and then I'm going to Manchester, UK, and Singapore on the way back. Only 3 countries this time. I'm still worried about traveling, not so much about myself. I feel that my immunity is very strong and I'm fully immunized. I just sort of worry about if some country change the policy and then I'm meant to be there, I can't get there. That's a bit of a annoying thing. So I'm just going to 3 countries at the moment. It looked pretty good for me to go. I can't wait to see my friends and my colleagues. This is wonderful. We achieved a lot the last 2 days. There's also something about in person. There's that personal energy that's also really, really priceless. I think I will be doing less in-person workshop compared to 3 years ago, because this is really nice too. Bit of both, yeah. Yes, I love to hear how you feel. I think we hung the pictures. I told you about the institute, and I will write to you about how you go in this workshop. And you've got my personal email. If you haven't, my personal email is very easy to remember. Just my name, Dr. Paul Lam, at tchi.org. That is, TCHI is the abbreviation for Tai Chi for Health Institute, tchi.org. And you are welcome to write to me. I answer every email unless your email got swollen by anti-spam software. Then write again and give me time. I do answer. If you don't hear from me within a couple of weeks, then probably because the email got lost. Write again. And of course, you can write through the website, Institute. And I'd love to hear how you're going. If there's anything I can do to support what you're doing, I'm always happy to. Great, wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh, likewise, it's wonderful working with you. Angel, you want to say something? Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that it was
It was a great training. I feel a lot more confident. So appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you everybody for just being able to be here and work together.
Makes a difference. Yeah, yeah. So good to.
It's lovely to meet people from all around the world. It's been quite amazing.
It is. It is. Okay, Sylvia have a question. Is there any quiz? No, because you all done stage 1 and you actually do 6 quiz, and you can't pass unless you got all the questions right. So you can go back and read the information again. So yeah, that's already done. But what I would do is I would usually send out a feedback form to everybody. I'll just check because the weekend our stuff is not working. So I'll find out if you don't get feedback forms, there will be one coming to you next day or two. Yeah. Okay, well, it's wonderful working with you. Keep working, keep in touch.
Time.
Sorry?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We had a wonderful time.
Me too. It's great having you here, and keep in touch.